My sister stole my fiance while I was pregnant.
Did you have a receipt?
I have reached the edge of what I can bear. I am 28 and have been with my fiance for just over 3 years. We live together with my 4-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. 3 weeks ago, I found out I am pregnant again. At first, I was overjoyed, naive enough to think we were finally creating the stable family I have always wanted. By the way, this comes from the Mystic Rose, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, he grew distant the very next day. He ignored my excitement, started coming home late, and kept his phone glued to him at all times. I began noticing strange calls and those discreet social media notifications that vanished too quickly. My gut told me to investigate.
My gut. My leaky gut.
I almost wish I had not. He has been secretly hooking up with my older sister behind my back.
Oh, whoa. Okay. I mean, that's not okay, but all right. And he started doing that right after you said that you were having a baby?
She was the one I always tolerated, even though she drags drama wherever she goes. She would hug me when relatives were around, pretend to be the supportive older sibling, then turn around and badmouth me to her friends. I never imagined she would crawl into my life this deeply. It felt like a slap in the face to read their messages calling me clueless for not noticing. He told her about the pregnancy before he was honest with me about his doubts. And they joked about how stressed I would be raising another child. What do you think you're doing, bud? You think you're just gonna get off easy?
I think that's exactly what he thinks.
I'm gonna take you for child support for everything you're worth. My sister bragged that our entire family thinks she's the more interesting and popular sibling. Meanwhile, I'm just the quiet one who apparently deserves this. I do not know if they're still meeting in secret or if they just get a punt out of hurting me. My fiance denies everything whenever I confront him, says I'm hormonal, and that my imagination is running wild. My sister keeps messaging me, telling me I should keep my mouth shut and stop being dramatic. I am done hiding
Notice
my
how
anger.
she's not even denying.
Yeah.
She's like, you're just being dramatic.
Yeah,
You
I
shouldn't
cheated
care.
on you. I took your partner.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Wow.
What's it to you? My mother wants me to talk it out calmly, but how do I fix something so broken I can barely breathe? My fiance thinks I'll just accept this. He's counting on me being too shy or too pregnant to do anything. Tomorrow, I plan to blow this up in front of our entire family. We are supposed to have a casual get-together at our parents' house, ironically to celebrate my pregnancy announcement. I will gather my phone logs, the screenshots, and all those humiliating texts they sent each other. Once all the relatives have settled in, I will put everything on display. No more secrets. I might burn everything in the process. I might lose any chance of a pleasant co-parenting scenario, but I feel like I have no other way to reclaim my dignity. I have been crying nonstop for days. My nerves are shot, and all I get from my fiance is either silent treatment or insults. My sister taunts me and acts like I am worthless. I see no reason to protect them anymore. I do not know what happens next. Maybe they'll run off together. Maybe they'll lie or twist things around to make me look insane. My fiance has not contributed much financially, so I worry about affording my daughter and this potential new baby on my own. Yet I cannot pretend everything is normal. I have to protect whatever self-respect I have left. I'm going to set my entire world on fire tomorrow. Part of me feels terrified. The other part is numb. Regardless, I'm done letting them tiptoe around my heart. If they want my silence, they should have kept their betrayal better hidden. Let everyone see exactly who they are. That is all I have left.
That's actually, it's insane that they're like, yeah, no, keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut.
And you're
you know
being
it's
like,
good for you.
Oh, babe, you're hormonal. Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason this matters to you right now is because you're having a baby.
Yeah. Like they're actively cheating on you and then expect you to just be fine with that? No. No.
With your sister, too, is like, just what the?
Yeah.
What?
Crazy. But definitely drop him and then sue him for child support.
Yeah, I think so.
But we got an update. Update. I'm still reeling from what happened. After writing my last post, I spent hours debating with myself about whether I should really go through with exposing them at our family gathering. A part of me was scared I would turn my whole life upside down forever. But I knew I couldn't keep letting them walk all over me while pretending everything was fine. I called my mom beforehand to let her know I was breaking up with them and to prepare her. When I arrived at my parents' house, everyone was already there, including my ex-fiancé and my sister. My mother tried to pull me aside, whispering that we should talk first. I stayed calm, walked straight into the living room where everyone was sitting, and asked them to listen. They looked confused. My sister immediately rolled her eyes, and my fiancé mumbled something, probably hoping I would stay silent. I started reading the most shocking parts.
It's great. They're just like,
that they all
here
expect
she
you to just shut
goes,
up
this
about it.
freaking drama queen about to tell people how we're just blatantly cheating on her, and
Like, that's crazy.
we think she's a fool. Ugh. Who are these people? Where do they build these people?
The cheater factory.
The cheater cake factory.
That's funny. I started reading the most shocking parts of the messages I found between the two of them. They mocked me, joked about me not noticing anything, and said I deserved this. Who are these people? I had timestamps proving he was sneaking around with my own sister while I was at home with my daughter. My sister stood up and accused me of lying, her voice defensive and low-pitched. But I just kept reading. OP's doing a dramatic reading of this in front of everyone. She goes, "You're lying! You're lying! You're lying!"
You are lying.
Like Will in season 2 of Stranger Things. "You're lying! He's lying! He's lying!"
You lie like Papa.
Or that. The messages spoke for themselves. I revealed how he told her about my pregnancy before even discussing it with me, and how they laughed about me being stressed raising another child. My fiancé tried to dismiss me, claiming I was overreacting and misinterpreting the situation because of my emotional pregnant state. He even blamed my mental health, but then he stormed out of the room and my sister started crying. My dad stared at the floor, silent, while my mother looked horrified. Finally, my sister snapped and stormed out, yelling that I was a dramatic liar who blew everything out of proportion. Now, the fallout begins. My fiancé, or rather my ex-fiancé, has been texting me non-stop. One moment, he says he's sorry. The next, he blames me for humiliating him. He shows zero genuine remorse. He's just mad that I exposed him. My sister calls me horrendous names, says I ruined her image, and refuses to take responsibility. If the image is in 4K, there's not much that OP can do.
It's just like, just own it at this point. You've been caught.
You can't
Own
look
it.
into a mirror and say, I don't like what I see. It's just you.
Well, I mean, you can do that, but you
Yeah,
can't do
I
that
guess so.
and then go, and it's your fault, someone else.
It's true. Honestly, I do not even know if they're still seeing each other or blaming each other for being caught. Either way, their secret is out, and that's all I wanted. I'm now talking to a lawyer because this man barely contributed financially before. I have to protect my daughter and ensure I never have a child with him. Only the thought of raising 2 kids alone is terrifying. By the way, you know what's not terrifying? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up Storytime.
I don't know, the number of episodes we have is kind of scary big.
It's pretty big.
It's a scary big number.
But that's the end of that story, folks. No, it's not. There's more. I lied to you. There's a little bit more to the story.
Liar, like Papa.
But do you have any final thoughts before we get into the last part of the story?
I hope every other member of your family supports you through this.
I hope so.
And it feels bad.
I'm not, counting on that, though, if they were already like, don't bring up drama.
Yeah. Don't bring up the drama of your sister cheating with your husband.
Yeah.
What?
My cat's name is Karen, says they won't stay together. It was only fun when they were cheating on OP.
Yeah, of course.
But there's a little bit left to the story. I feel numb and heartbroken at times, but I also feel a strange sense of relief. At least everyone knows the truth now. I exposed everything that day in the living room, but at least I'm no longer being trampled on in silence. My sister and ex-fiancé can no longer laugh behind my back. Yes, things will probably get messy. They might lie to other relatives, people we mutually know, or twist the story. How are they going to twist the story, though? Like, truly, how would they twist it so much that people listening to that story are just like, wow, that's a blatant lie because you were dating OP and OP has a kid with you?
I mean, they could just be like, oh, it's all fake texts. She just faked a bunch of texts.
Yeah, just saying, like, we didn't cheat at all.
Imagine they just try to be like, well, we did do that, but like she shouldn't care.
She shouldn't care. Yes, things will probably get messy. They might lie to other relatives, people we mutually know, or twist the story, but I'm glad I refuse to keep quiet. All I can do now is focus on the positive, talk to my lawyer, and move forward. It will be painful, but I'll do everything in my power to build a new future on my own terms, far away from these people. And that's the end of the story.
Good. I think that is the right path to take moving
You just
forward.
get rid of them.
I
Get them out of
believe
your
that
life.
is correct.
Agreed.
Good job, OP.
Agreed.
And
Good
I'm
job.
sorry. That sucks.
Yeah. Good luck on raising your
really
kids. I
sucks.
hope that you find a new support system that actually is there for you. But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming
We
right
do. My father had a very obvious affair with my nanny.
up. At least do it in secret.
So basically, this mainly took place between the ages of like 4th to 8th grade for me, but is still going on in a way. I, 20 female, had a nanny growing up, 21 female when this happened. She's around 35 now. Let's call her Jex.
Jex and Dexter.
Let's call her Gex.
Yikes.
She was the big sister I never had. We were best friends, and she was a huge role model for me. I looked up to her so much. She was gorgeous, young, and we had so much fun during the years she watched my brother and I. And by the way, this comes from user SitterBanger. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments, as OP says. My parents, especially my mom, are extremely fun and generous people. After a while of her babysitting us, she grew deep friendships with my parents and their friends, who were in their 40s at the time. She was so close with my family to the point where my parents and company would take her to super expensive events every weekend. Nice dinners, family vacations, bars, etc. She was truly a member of the family. And she was about to get on one of your family's members.
Oh.
Bow, bow. In fact, she got so close with my parents. My mother, who works in a very respected profession and position, gave Jex her car and helped and encouraged her get into a 4-year university. When I was around 6 or 7 at the time.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I don't really know. I was in a spy phase and would spy on people for fun.
You know what? I understand that. Not the spying part, but my friends and we would play spy. But
So
we
you
were
did
cats,
understand that.
But we didn't actually spy on people.
I don't believe you. That's
were
not
just
what that's what a
playing
spy would
spy.
say.
No, we were cats
You
and dogs
immediately
spies.
covered yourself. You were like, I actually get that, but not.
But not fully.
But I was never a spy.
Were you a totally spy?
Oh, that was a good show.
I started noticing Jex and my father acting very strange, sneaking off, and eventually started catching them making out in various places of my house. I knew it was wrong, but I was too scared to say anything to my mom, so I kept the secret to myself because I didn't want to ruin my family.
Also, super concerning that the dad is like hook. I don't know. I'm a little concerned for Jex, honestly. She's like this 21-year-old girl who has been, obviously she has a part to play in it because she's having this affair, but definitely the fact that he has a position of power and is also much older than her. A little icky.
One time I went through her phone, I know her password, and found explicit texts and photos sent between Jex and my father. For some reason, it didn't disturb me at the time like it does now. They eventually started becoming sloppy with their affair, which they've always been sloppy with their affair because they couldn't hide it from an 8-year-old.
Yeah, come on. That's never been a well-hidden affair.
They began getting sloppy with their affair, and I believe my mom started catching on but didn't say anything. At this point, it was multiple years into the affair, and I had witnessed a plethora of things, and the guilt of not saying anything grew bigger and bigger on my chest. One time on my mom's business trip to California, we're from New York, they brought Jex, and my mom came back to the hotel to Jex and my dad cuddling. My brother and I were in the living room of the hotel room. That night, my mom made my dad sleep on the floor with her and us kids. I remember her whispering to him in the middle of the night that she wanted a divorce when she thought we were sleeping. That was the first night I cried about the whole ordeal, and the F-ness of the whole situation kicked in. So my mom never got a divorce, although I believe that is when their marriage started to dissolve and become more of a business transaction. My mom grew up in an extremely unstable household and didn't want to give us kids the trauma she had to deal with, which I think was a mistake, but I know she wanted the best for us. I believe crap started hitting the fan when my dad invited Jex to come with us to a very prestigious business trip conference that my mom had to attend. This is when it gets bad. My mom was out at a company dinner, so it was me, my brother, Jex, and my father in the hotel room. Think 2 queen beds. My brother fell asleep next to me, and I guess they thought I was asleep too because they started doing the deed.
Disgusting. Literally disgusting.
With the kids
like,
in the room?
Arrest them. Genuinely arrest. If I found out that 2 adults were, or if my let's say I have a child and my partner, I mean, the levels of this is insane. Not only are they doing this in the same room, but they're cheating. Just disgusting. Literally disgusting. Yeah. This reminds me of that Walking Dead scene. You know what I'm talking about when, what's his face and his wife?
Lori. Is it Lori and
It's the main guy,
Rick.
And his wife.
Lori.
Yeah, and they're like in the same tent as their son, and they're like, he won't wake up, it's fine. Crazy.
And Coral's just
disgusting.
Up.
Disgusting. You're freaks, and I hate you.
There's a freak back there.
Thank God my brother was asleep and didn't have to witness it. I also remember I have never had to pee so bad in my life, but I couldn't get up. I just had to shut my eyes and pretend it was going to be over.
Dang, that is traumatic as
Yeah,
F.
literally trauma.
That is traumatic AF.
Trauma.
It felt like hours. I ended up peeing the bed because I couldn't hold it anymore.
Even more traumatic AF. That's
oh my God.
crazy.
Then I heard banging on the door. They didn't get up and answer it. It was my mom who forgot her key and couldn't get back in. No, they continued.
What?
These people are monsters.
My mom called the phone in the hotel room over and over and over again, coming back and knocking, but they wouldn't get up. I remember feeling so relieved my mom was coming back. She's my best friend in the world. Eventually, my mom got an employee to give her a new key and open the door, and Jex and my father jumped up and tried to compose themselves. I remember she was in a bra and got under the covers and pretended to be watching a movie. My mom, you could just tell, was done. She was livid. She didn't react because she would never make a scene in front of her kids, but she looked like she was going to unalive someone. I had to explain that I wet the bed in my sleep. It ruined my views on marriage. I never told anyone this until I was 14. By now, my mom had fired the babysitter.
I'm shocked that she didn't fire her before.
Yeah.
She knew that they were like cuddling. She probably knew that there was something going on if you knew something was going on. She should have fought. Like, I know she didn't want to create problems for the kids, but honestly, like,
this was
kind of an a-hole move to not fire her.
This was creating more problems for the kids.
100%.
And for just everyone else.
Yeah, like
100%.
a-hole move. Not great on either of these. I mean, obviously her dad is like a monster, but, you know, not great moves on the mom's part.
By now, my mom had fired the babysitter. My dad and my mother's relationship had ended. But it was this weird unspoken thing that we could never bring up in front of my dad. He has a drinking problem and anger issues. And at this point, my relationship with my dad was really bad. And we had gotten into several fights, including me getting booted out. Mind you, these all happened when my mom was out of town. She had many long business trips. I started resenting my dad. No way!
You started? You just started? Dang, man.
You did?
I wonder why.
My mom at this point freely talked about it with my brother and I, and the catch is my dad and Jex were obviously still together. He would leave every, and still does, Thursday through Sunday. I knew because I would have friends tell me they saw them at restaurants and hotels right by where we live, which I don't understand how ignorant you have to be. This was humiliating for me. She would post on social media places I just knew they were together. Funny thing, there's been a couple occasions my dad has gotten really wasted and made me text her happy birthday, Merry Christmas, etc. And by the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite app is, just search OK Storytime. And we have a little bit more story left. This is really terrible.
Your dad's a nightmare monster from the Black Lagoon.
Nightmare.
Truly. If anyone was from the Black Lagoon
It'd
and
be this
happened to
guy.
be a creature hailing from said place, it would be your father.
Yeah, not to bring it back to that one really traumatic point, but the fact that, one, you were in the room, two, your mom was
Banging
on the door saying, let me in, probably,
and they
let me
didn't
in.
get up until...
Not even a single budge. And then he was like, oh, you got someone who... Dude, that...
Like, I mean, I think the layers of this is kind of complicated because it's obviously dad's the worst one here. Jex is pretty bad too, but also just kind of looking again at she's 21. He's probably, you know, at least mid-30s.
Yeah.
And also her boss. So just really bad there too. This person I feel like has been, you know, manipulated, and she's, you know, obviously still in the wrong. but just the layers of that. And then your mom is just not protecting you because she thinks in her mind, oh, if I just don't say anything, it's better for the kids.
Well, it was probably not to protect the mom in any way, but the mom maybe assumed the kids didn't know.
I think so. I think she assumed that they didn't know and that it was best for her just to not say anything. And my point is, that's never good for the kids. I think there's just this like idea that it's always better for the kids if you just keep your mouth shut and try and keep everything normal.
Especially when the kids will see a huge different dynamic
kids
between mom and
notice
dad.
things.
Yeah, mom
Kids
and dad are just
notice
no longer
things.
talking. Yeah, kids notice things, but
Yeah.
kids won't, especially something like this.
Yeah, kids are smart.
But kids sometimes don't want to get in trouble. Like, I guarantee you,
Exactly,
Opie was like,
yeah.
I know what's happening. I'm not going to say anything.
So traumatizing.
I'm not gonna
and
talk
then you
about it.
internalize that later and you're like, well, why didn't I say anything? It's my fault.
I was going to say, I just hope OP doesn't blame
It's
themselves.
Like you were 7 years old dealing with a highly traumatic situation.
You didn't know any better, but you knew it was wrong, but you didn't know how to handle that situation. Heck,
Of course, because you're a child.
nobody knows how to handle that situation.
You're a child.
Yeah.
Dang, that's so. And then you had to pee the bed.
So traumatizing.
Ooh, so traumatizing.
Well, let's finish the story. I finally told my mom when I was 14 about how I knew for years and what I witnessed, and it seemed like her heart shattered. She felt like she failed protecting me and like she should have known. They are still together to this day, and my mom is finally getting a divorce. Her and my dad are just trying to work out the finances in the house, etc. I don't even know why I'm sharing this because it's honestly not that bad compared to other trauma children have gone through. That's not, you don't have to, what about?
It's not a trauma Olympics.
What
Yeah.
aboutism?
It's not like, it's
That's
like,
pretty
let's not
rough.
Your literal
compare.
babysitter.
That is really rough, though.
Yeah, your father, who is, again, your father, and then your babysitter, who you looked up to, just completely blew up your life. That's pretty traumatizing.
Yeah. I'm blessed to live such a privileged life. And it kind of seems silly complaining about something so irrelevant. But I don't think I've fully processed it, and I don't think you have either, given what you just said. Maybe I should see a therapist. I don't know. But it feels really embarrassing to have to tell someone face to face, you should see a therapist. That is the end of that story. You definitely need to fully work through that, because there are a lot of moving parts. And yeah, that's highly traumatic, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can get there. You're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, this dad is just a horrible person. Just such a bad person. Also, I just want to, I'm not trying to negate that the babysitter has blown up a family unit and, was a willing participant. But it is like an element that the dad is a much older boss. It's kind of the same thing with like the whole Me Too movement of having women consenting to a relationship. But obviously there was a really, really icky power dynamic there, which, was not okay. So it's like, I still think it's an element that makes the dad even worse. It's like, yeah, she still is helping, but he's
well, it sounds
sucks
like
even more to me.
they have a lot of money and resources, and
Yeah.
she went on a lot of trips and had this, so it's
Exactly.
like, of course she's going to be attracted to that to some
Yeah.
extent.
But she's still a
And-
21-year-old, and I just think that makes the dad
Well,
look
21-year-olds
even worse to me.
can go to war and all that.
They
I
shouldn't
think
be.
I think 21 is old enough to
I agree.
you're
know.
making an informed decision on like, am
Oh,
I
yeah.
going to sleep with this man
Absolutely.
who's older than me or not?
No, I agree
Am
with
I
that.
attracted to this guy or not?
But I would still say a 21-year-old, if I'm looking at a 21-year-old getting with a 36-year-old, 36 or like, I'm assuming
Well,
he's
the
36-year-old.
36-year-old should be like, I'm not
Exactly.
really
That's my
gonna
point.
die. Why would I do this?
That's my point.
Other than just being like, yeah, I'm using this person.
I think there is an element of he is using her, and it makes him even worse. Not that it doesn't make her bad. That's my point.
Did Opie say they're still together?
I just can't imagine being like in your 40s, like
Yeah,
into like someone.
exactly.
It's just like
Exactly. That's my point.
maybe
It
I'll
makes him look
understand
so
when I'm
much
in my
worse.
40s, but I can't understand now because it's like,
Yeah. No, I think it just makes him look just he's like a monster at that point because of all the layers there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the end of that story.
Yeah.
And we have another one. Wow.
My wife had an affair with my cousin.
Cousin loving.
Trigger warning, emotional Trigger warning for mentions of self-harm. I have a cousin who was also my closest friend. As my closest friend, he was often at my house when I lived with my parents, and he continued to visit me frequently after I got married. I have been married for 3 years. By the way, this comes from Plastic Year 2306, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. During these visits, my wife, who is normally shy and reserved around my friends, began to hang out with us from time to time because he became very familiar with his constant visits, and she saw him as a cousin of hers as well. It's also important to note that my wife has some undiagnosed mental illnesses such as BPD, seasonal depression, and unresolved abandonment issues from her childhood. Eventually, my wife began to join my cousin and me when we would hang out together outside of the home as well, and we regularly started hanging out all together. I now know that I was essentially setting myself up for failure by helping them create a bond. After weeks of my wife constantly crying and feeling depressed beyond anything I'd ever seen, she confessed to me that the reason she had been feeling this way was because of an overwhelming guilt about having developed an emotional attachment to another man.
Not another man.
Ew. At this point, she was completely distraught and could barely get her words out, so I simply comforted her while trying to hold in my shock and anger at what I had just heard. She eventually confessed that it had been going on for some time, 12 months since her first feelings that she suppressed. 9 months since they started talking on and off, 3 to 4 months since they started talking every day, and 2 months since they confessed that they had these feelings. My cousin eventually ended things officially around 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, but it doesn't really end, does it?
I spoke to my cousin and he confessed without knowing that my wife had already told me, and their stories matched up. I need some advice. Is there any way that this marriage is repairable, or should I just move on? I definitely cannot trust her right now, and I'm not sure if I ever will again. I've spoken to 2 sheikhs, and they both advised me not to rush into my decisions. But one told me to wait 2 to 3 weeks, and one told me to wait 4 to 6 months. For what? What are we waiting for?
A sign.
The one who told me to wait 4 to 6 months later told me that I might have to end things sooner if my wife's mental condition doesn't improve because the marriage seems unsustainable. My wife and I are both 25 and I have no kids. She is self-harming at times and often says she doesn't want to live anymore because of what she's done. She's filled with guilt, but she also admitted to me that she's still grieving the loss of the friendship she had with my cousin.
What?
Which makes my blood boil. Is it chic or shake?
I think it's usually
Chocolate. Vanilla?
The chic? I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing that right.
I would just say chic. However you say it in your heart is the right way.
Don't think that's true.
That is true. However you
I don't
hear
know
it
about
in your
that.
heart is the right way to say it.
I don't know about that. Yeah,
It's
Miss
okay.
Jaybird
You're
says
trying your
girl
best.
therapy. Yeah, she needs therapy badly. And OP needs to leave this relationship no matter. I think there's always that guilt of being like, my partner is going to hurt themselves or not be well if I leave them, even though they've hurt me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not.
It's a shake.
Sheikh, thank you. The sheikh said this is normal, but to monitor if she still feels this way in the next few months. This has been the biggest betrayal imaginable, and it has also made me dread upcoming family gatherings where my cousin will be, and I'll be expected to bring my wife because, of course, no one in our family knows about this. My wife is very clear that she only wants to be with me, and she wants to make this marriage work more than anything. I've known her my entire adult life, and even though our marriage is not perfect, we've been pretty compatible so far, and I simply can't imagine life without her, even though she's hurt me in the most unimaginable way. And there is an update. I mean, I understand that she's got like a mental health, disorder here, but that doesn't excuse the fact that she cheated on you. Yeah, maybe she can find help to, improve in future relationships, but I don't know if you can get back that trust. And also, it very much doesn't excuse your cousin because he has no reason for doing any of this other than he just cheated with your wife. So, yeah. I think
Truly
they don't have
nothing to
stay.
be really
Yeah.
salvaged, I think.
Yeah.
I think that you can
Yeah. I
still
think
not
you can
want her.
excuse it.
You cannot
Yeah.
want her to be.
You can want the
in
best
that
for her.
level of distress, but
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Doesn't mean you have to be with her. 2 months later. I'm trying to stay distracted by playing football, going to the gym, and spending time at the mosque. The relationship is volatile. Some days she is loving, and some days she's arguing with me. Well, also we know she has BPD, so. We see a marriage counselor. We got nikah, religious marriage, and when I was 21 and moved in together when I was 22. My wife still holds resentment and says it openly. The reasons she cited were that I played football 3 to 4 days a week for a few hours, and she said this abandonment was a contributing factor that subsequently led to her affair. While I have tried to cut off contact with my cousin, it is difficult given the family circles.
There's no way she just blamed you, like, having a hobby as the reason why she was justified in cheating on you with your cousin.
Yeah. Well, she's trying to get any reasoning that isn't, I cheated on you because I cheated on you.
Yeah. Gotta own it.
Yeah. You have to own it.
Own it, girl.
I think especially because she is not willing to own it completely, there is no path to redemption here. But yeah, it's tough. There is another update though, 3 months later. This week, my wife and I divorced after being married for 3.5 years. It was very sad. She got extremely emotional, and I also shed some tears, but I believe it had to be done as I couldn't look past the affair. My wife is in the process of moving back into the home we shared, and I'm going to live with my parents for the remainder of her Ida, a 3-month period of separation after divorce or loss, intended to restore one's emotional and mental health and remove any confusion in case of pregnancy. She came to the house today, and in the evening, she asked me if we could talk because she was not happy that I was in a bad mood towards her. She's like, why are you so upset with me?
Should have thought about that before you slept with my cousin. Maybe my mood would be improved.
Maybe it would have been
if you didn't sleep with my cousin.
She knows the reason was because I'm having aunties call me and even coming over to try to get me to give my wife a second chance. No. And I find this very triggering because they don't know what I've gone through. I've hidden from them the fact that she had an affair to protect her dignity and reputation and to not reveal that the affair partner is their nephew and my cousin.
Damn.
Honestly, if you don't want to reveal that, maybe go to her and say, hey, you need to get them off my back or I'm going to tell them why.
100%.
Yeah.
No, I would. That's crazy.
Put it to her. They shouldn't be bothering you.
If everyone's like, give her a second chance, if your family members start saying you're the bad guy, oh boy.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, you need to get them off my back or I'm telling them the truth. They all see her as a kind girl who's very sweet, which she is at times, but they don't know what I've gone through with the affair and with all the verbal abuse and temper issues throughout the marriage. I always shielded my family from seeing this side of her. She's also really good at being the best version of herself around others, particularly family. There are a lot of good things about her personality and character that I would look for in another wife, so that should be made clear. I told her that I didn't want to talk about things right now, but she insisted and kept talking about it anyway, saying that we wouldn't have any other time to talk. She began asking why I've forgotten all the good things she did. Because you cheated on him. Because you're a cheater. Kind of outweighs all the puppies you saved. And the sacrifices.
Wait, she saved puppies?
No, just...
Well, we have to factor puppy saving.
Did we factor in the puppy saving? And the sacrifices she made in our marriage. What sacrifices? You sacrificed the marriage. That's what you sacrificed. And that I'm just labeling her for one thing she did.
Oh my gosh.
It's so crazy. You're literally labeling me for the worst thing I did.
It's like
what about all the other good things I did?
Honey, I took out the trash. I did the chores. I slept with your cousin.
Why can't you just
Why can't
look
you just get over
past
that?
the worst thing I did?
Just put a Band-Aid over it. It's a little boo-boo. We can fix this,
throw
right?
a blanket on it.
Nah. Shadow Wolf, I think it was borderline personality disorder. I think that was... can you look? It's at the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was borderline. Yeah. I insisted it wasn't just one thing, and I said that I haven't forgotten about all the good because if I had, I wouldn't be treating her with kindness. I'd be cold to her like I am to my cousin.
It is borderline personality disorder.
borderline.
And seasonal depression.
Yes. I was then alerted to news that one of my ex-colleagues and a friend was being rushed to the hospital after a serious car accident, and she became even more upset that I was diverting my focus from our conversation, saying that this was symptomatic of our problems in the marriage, where she always had to fight for my attention, and that's what caused this problem between us. She's literally blaming you. She's blaming you for cheating on you?
It's all your fault. It's all your fault. If you had given me more attention,
This
I
lady
wouldn't have
stinks.
cheated.
She's stinky. She's a stinky lady.
Because I'm sure that is all that was really missing. If you wouldn't have played football for 2 hours during the week each day, I think I would
probably wouldn't have had time to cheat on you.
I would have been fine.
She also said that for the record, after some time, she would have forgiven me for cheating if I had done what she had. Who is this
so
person?
easy to say that,
Who
seeing
is this
as I
person?
haven't cheated on you. So
That's
you can say that all
crazy.
day long.
She's like, well, if you had done it, I wouldn't have been upset.
She's trying every manipulation tactic in the book.
Truly.
And it's just not
It's
working.
not working,
It better not
girl.
work, OP.
She's a very sensitive person and can't even handle the perceived threat of being abandoned. So if she found out that I had an emotional relationship with another woman, let alone a relative of hers, she would have lost her mind. She even fell down to her knees crying, "Why?" I thought in my head, I'm pretty sure that's my line. So the reason why I'm asking all of this is, do I owe it to her to have these final discussions about where things went wrong in our marriage so she can get some closure? Or do we just stop talking about the issue entirely and move on separately? I'm trying to do everything by the book, Quran and Sunnah, and not take away any of her rights from her, regardless of how the marriage ended. I want both of us to be able to heal from this marriage ending. I've always tried to carry myself with respect and honor, even in the face of this most heinous betrayal. And there is a third update. OP, you're being too nice. She stinks.
I was gonna say, OP, you're being a way too good of a person, and that's good. You're being an honorable person, but you don't owe her these things.
You don't owe her anything.
Especially the way she's trying to manipulate and be tactical about it. It's gross behavior. The fact that she can't own up to it, and she's like, you don't have to be like, oh, where did our marriage go wrong?
Yeah.
She cheated.
She cheated on you. That's where it went wrong. She cheated on you for months.
With your cousin.
You guys have been together for 3 years total, and she's cheated on you for a year of that.
It's 1/3, baby.
Yeah.
Like, there is no excuse, and I hate when cheaters try to excuse their relationship or their affairs by saying, oh, well, it was your fault because there were problems in the relationship that I never told you about.
Her fault, and your fault supposedly from her reasoning was you have a hobby.
You play football, so
I have to play with balls.
it's only fair. Update 1 year later. I reflect and believe that ironically, being cheated on was the key to some of the biggest blessings in my life. Glass half full kind of guy. I have met some incredible people, traveled to many countries, begun seeking Islamic knowledge, and developed incredible friendships with brothers. Some of my family members have figured it out or had suspicions and have gone cold with a cousin. Good. And there is another update 2 years later.
It also shows that OP is not trying to be dramatic, not trying to have drama. Honestly, I would bring it up to her and be like, you should be so lucky that I'm not telling anybody about this.
Yeah.
And you're still bringing it up and you're still trying to not be accountable. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's exhausting at this point.
I'm trying to search up how to pronounce
It's been
this word.
exhausting the whole time, really.
1 second. I want to start by saying Alhamdulillah. Thank God. For everything, whether things go in a way that we think is good or not. 2 years ago, my ex-wife had an emotional affair with my cousin, and that was a time that felt like I was in a black hole with no sight of the top. 2 years later, I've experienced highs in my deen, walk of faith, business, and now personal life that seemed unimaginable at the time.
Alhamdulillah, what's it like in New York City? I'm
By the
1,000
way,
miles away.
I can imagine you guys listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and searching up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I hope your next wife is super hot.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super hot, super cool.
And she enjoys your hobbies, and maybe you guys can do hobbies together.
Hot,
I
cool
hope
new
maybe
wife.
she plays football too.
And she only cheats on you with you.
Like in Pina Colada song. Anyway, I found out about my ex-wife's affair a week before Ramadan in 2023. Then in the final week of Ramadan 2025, I met the kindest, most patient, most beautiful woman I've met in my life. She too had been married before, and in her first marriage, she endured her own tough trials that shaped the person she is today. A woman of immense strength that she does not claim or boast about. Funnily enough, we met on this very subreddit in Marriage ISO, where she saw my profile and reached out. And that simple message led to what we have today. Alhamdulillah, we are now married and enjoying our honeymoon, and I wouldn't change anything that brought us to where we are today. And that's the end of that story, folks.
I just want to know if the cousin and the ex-wife are now together.
Oh, Lord. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that would last, though. Especially
My
with
lord?
the
not
whole
at
family.
all. Not at
I
all.
don't think
My
that
lord?
would last.
Malort?
My lord?
You want Malort? Oh.
My lord?
that's the end of that story, and we got another one coming up, folks.
Yes, we do.
I caught my girlfriend cheating and it ruined her life.
How'd that happen?
And this is directly from the r/OKstorytime subreddit. This is one of our own here. This happened over 15 years ago. We're both 38 now. She was an old high school crush. We reconnected in our early 20s, despite running in different circles. I was into festivals, she was into clubs. We dated for about a year, and I got really close with her little brother. By the way, this comes from BJH602, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit, and I'm Angie.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in the situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. So OP says, one night I went to meet her at a club where she was already hanging out with friends. I linked up with her brother and we headed in, only to see her sitting on her coworker's lap, chatting casually with everyone like it was nothing. Her brother looked shocked. We walked up and she went pale, and I just casually asked how everyone was doing, pretending I didn't notice. She brushed it off as normal. I think she'd been flirting with his coworker. Let's call him Dean because he's a total wiener at work.
What is that?
I don't know how Dean goes into that.
Like,
Just another D word?
the only thing I can think of is like Gilmore Girls, because Dean sucked.
Okay.
I
That's
don't know,
probably
but
why.
your shirt right now is making quite a good
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
But that night was the first time that she actually crossed the line and did something physical. When I left the club, I casually walked out like nothing was wrong, but deep down, I knew it was over right then and there. I told them that I was heading to a house party elsewhere, and her brother came with me, apologizing for her the whole way. The party turned out to be at this girl's place, who is female, 35 now. She was 18 back then. Someone I had flirted with and run into at festivals over the past year or so. We hit it off while her brother hung out and had fun. About an hour later, my girlfriend showed up out of nowhere. I still don't know how she tracked us down. She apologized, acted normal, and tried to get me to go back to my place with her. I declined. She even asked to crash in the host's bed to lure me in, but I said no. I told her brother to drive her home and let him know that I was done. I didn't trust her anymore, and we were over. On her way out, I stayed polite while he told her that she had messed up big time. That night, I hooked up with the host, in her
Whoa.
bedroom.
Whoa.
The exact same one that my girlfriend had been trying to drag me into just minutes earlier.
Wait.
With the door open and people
What?
all around the house while the party raged on.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
What?
Wait,
Oh my gosh.
Can you like
Okay,
catch me? Like,
yeah,
I
recap.
literally am so confused. So much just
Recap.
happened.
So, okay, they're at a girl's birthday party
Yeah.
now. This is after he saw her at the club with her on boss's lap, okay?
So right now, all he knows is that she sat on someone's lap.
I guess so. But he still was like, that's over. And so she, I think, was like apologizing and then trying to seduce him into the party girl's bedroom to hook up at this party. And then he was like, no, brother, take her home. I'm done. And then he went back to the party, hooked up with the birthday girl in that bedroom. Doors open, party going on.
OP.
Crazy that
I
the
know
doors
that
are open.
you're one of our own.
Yeah.
Not a great move. Pretty bad move. If you're still calling her your girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
You're
Well, I mean, he said that
cheating.
we're done.
Yeah, but he still called. He didn't say my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
If y'all aren't actually done, it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, also just, it's not even, okay, if you are done and you have broken up, still not a classy move.
For sure. For sure.
I gotta give it to you straight, OP.
Yeah. I'm just like, there's a lot of layers there, but the one that I'm stuck on is that you
Left the door open.
hooked up with the door open
Yeah.
and people
that's-
all around.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's so wild to me.
Yeah.
But even her brother came back after dropping her off and joined in the vibe.
What?
I'm guessing
What do you
in the
mean?
party vibe.
Okay.
And not that vibe.
What?
Yikes. I didn't talk to my ex for about 5 years after that. I started dating the host, and that lasted about 9 months. She ended up with Dean a few months later. From what I heard, Dean was a heavy drinker who treated her like garbage. Yikes. He basically moved himself into her house and had this gross habit of peeing in the corner of her bedroom when he was too wasted to make it to the bathroom.
Why do you know this? How do you know this? Why
That's
would anyone
crazy.
ever share this
I
information?
mean, that's like the kind of rumor that would, I think, go around.
But
It's
yeah,
just
but
like,
like-
can you believe this happened?
but who
wild.
is she telling? Unless
Good
you're breaking
question.
up with the guy, I would never tell anyone.
Yeah.
I would keep that to myself unless I broke up, and then I'd be like, "Oh my god, you will not believe this crazy thing."
Dude, that's wild. I
Yeah.
had
So
no
okay,
idea.
so she seems like she cheated. He breaks up with her.
Yep.
I guess that was a little unclear to me.
Yeah.
And then he immediately hooks up with someone else.
Yep. Dates her for 9 months. And then I guess
Okay.
she got with the boss man.
OP,
the lap man.
it seems like you are reeling in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. They stayed together long enough to have 2 kids.
Dang.
What? This is a wild story. He barely lifted a finger for them and didn't provide any financial support. She finally left him and had to sell her house to get away. Now she's with a great new partner who's stepped up as a dad to her other 2 kids in every way, and they've had 2 more together. Now, Dean, totally irresponsible man. He has 0 to do with her or the kids. And by the way, you could have everything to do with us by listening to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story, but wowie zowie.
I don't even know what advice to give you
Yeah.
because it seems like it's been 5 years.
It's been more than that.
Yeah. I guess it seems like you didn't cheat on her because it seems like you did
Yeah.
break up.
Yeah.
That was a little unclear to me.
Yeah.
So you're in the clear there. I would just say, like, in the future, if we ever have messy breakups like this, don't immediately hook up with someone else at a
Yeah.
party. It's just not healthy. It's not a healthy way to process. But like,
Definitely
seems
not.
like you probably know that now.
Yeah. All of the people in this story are just like wackadoodle.
The wacky doodle.
Like, all the love to you, OP.
Yeah.
Especially since you're one of our own. That
Yeah.
makes you special.
It makes you special.
But
And also,
this is
yeah.
wild story.
I hope 5 years later, I hope we are in more like stable part of our life.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Oh yeah, no, this was like
Yeah.
years
This is years ago.
Yeah.
So you're probably
OP's
doing way
38
better.
now.
Yeah, you're probably doing way better now.
Yeah, hopefully. But there's a little bit more to the story. Recently, her brother told me that she only got with Dean and stuck it out because I moved on the same night. She wanted to, quote, prove that it was worth it and show that she had it better than me.
Well, she sucks.
Yeah. I do feel bad about how it ended. There was no direct communication from me, just ghosting through her brother for years. There was no drama or fighting, and if we run into each other now, we chat like old friends. But knowing she went through all that heck with Dean, partly because how I handled it, it eats at me. Was my lack of closure the spark? I just needed to vent this, and there is no more to that story. But I don't know. I don't think you have to feel guilty about it.
No, I don't think you need to feel guilty about anything that happened with your ex-girlfriend because
Yeah.
she cheated on you.
Yeah.
However, I think it just going forward, knowing that that was not a healthy way to handle that situation is going to benefit you.
Yeah, I think it's
So
more
that you don't make that mistake.
Yeah, I think your actions just mostly affected you. I think, because she saw that and made those choices because of that that's all her choice. Like,
Yeah.
she did not have to react that way at all. So
No.
I don't think that you have to feel bad about
No.
that at all. It's more of just like, we want you to change for your own sake.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm sure you have, though.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
5 years.
yeah. Like, yeah, that was
That was that.
that. I do wonder because this was like this happened over 15 years ago. So I hope that
Wait, this happened 15 years ago? I
Yeah,
thought it was 5.
no, because it started out when OP was like 21,
Oh.
and now OP's 38, and so there we got like 5
Dang.
years
Oh, yeah,
ahead
you-
in this story.
Yeah,
but
you've
it
got
took
to be
place.
good now.
Yeah, you've got to be.
Got to be good.
If you've got an update for that,
Yeah,
let us know
let us
because
know.
I'm hope that you're
hope
doing
you're
well.
good.
If it's still eating at you, I'm sorry. I don't think it needs to.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think when you're young, you often handle things like this poorly,
Yeah.
and it's just something to learn from,
yeah.
which
That's
I
all.
think you have.
I'm
so.
sure. Yeah.
But that's the end of that story.
yes, it is.
And that's the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.